Good morning, students. How are you all? Today we are going to talk about grid computing versus cloud computing. Grid computing, computing versus cloud computing. Okay, so our today's topic is grid computing versus cloud computing. Okay, when we switch on the fan or any electronic device, we are less concerned about the power supply from where it comes and how it is generated. The power supply or electricity then we receive at our home travels through a chain of network which includes power station, power stations, transformers, okay, power lines, and transmission stations and transmissions stations. Okay, these components together make a power grid. Okay, they they together make a power grid. Okay, likewise, grid computing is an infrastructure that link computing resources such as PCs, servers, workstation, and storage elements and provide the mechanism required to access them. So once again, when we switch on the fan or any electronic or any electric device, we are less concerned about the power supply from where it comes and how it is generated. The power supply or electricity that we receive at our home travels through a chain of network which includes power stations, transformers, power lines, and transmission stations. These components together make a power grid. Okay, so like power grid computing is an infrastructure that links computing resources such as PCs, servers, workstations, okay, and storage elements and provides the mechanisms required to access them. Okay, so grid computing is a middleware to coordinate disparate IT resources across a network, allowing them to function as whole. It is more often used in scientific research and in universities for educational purpose. For example, a group of architect students working on a different project requires a specific designing tool and a software for designing purpose. But only couple of them got access to the designing tool. The problem is how they can make this tool available to rest of the students. To make available for other students, they will put this designing tool on campus network. Now the grid will connect all these computers in campus network and allow students to use designing tool required for their project from anywhere. So cloud computing and grid computing is often confused, though their functions are almost similar. Their approach for their functionality is different. So let us see how they operate. Okay, we will let's make a table: cloud computing versus grid computing. Grid computing. Okay, cloud computing works more as a service provider for utilizing computer resource. Okay, grid computing uses the available resource and interconnected computer system to accomplish a common goal. Okay, first point is that Cloud computing works more as a service provider for utilizing computer resource. Grid computing uses the available resource and interconnected computer system to accomplish a common goal. Second, cloud computing is a centralized model. Centralized model. Okay, and grid computing is a decentralized model. Decentralized model where the computation could occur over many administrative model. Okay, cloud is a collection of computers usually owned by a single party. Third point is that cloud is a collection of computers usually owned by a single party. Usually owned by a single party. A grid is a collection of computers which is owned by multiple parties. Collection of computers owned by a single party. Owned by a single party. It's a collection of computer which is owned by multiple parties. Multiple parties. Okay, guys. So cloud is a collection of computers usually owned by a single party. A grid is a collection of computers which is owned by multiple parties in multiple locations and connected together so that users can share the combined power of resources. Next. Cloud offers more services, almost all the services like web hosting, database support, and much more. Grid provides limited services. Okay, so cloud offers more services, almost like web hosting. Okay, database support, database support, and much more. Git provides limited services. Okay, it provides limited services. Okay, cloud offers more services, almost all the services like web hosting, database support, and much more. Okay, next, cloud computing is typically provided within a single organization. Okay, such as Amazon. Okay, grid computing federates the resources located within different organization. Okay, what cloud computing is typically provided within a single organization. Single organization. And grid computing federates the resources located with organization. Different organization. Okay. So it is all about grid computing versus cloud computing. Let's discuss one more thing: utility computing versus cloud computing. Utility computing versus cloud computing. Okay. See, if we talk about utility computing, utility computing and cloud computing. See, utility computing refers to the ability to change the offered service and charge customers for exact uses. Okay. On the other hand, cloud computing also works like utility computing. You pay only for what you use, but cloud computing might be cheaper, as such cloud-based app can be up and running in days or weeks. Okay, second, utility computing users want to be in control of the geographical location of the infrastructure. In cloud computing, provider is in complete control of cloud computing services and infrastructure. Third, utility computing is more favorable when performance and selection infrastructure is critical, while cloud computing is great and easy to use when the selection infrastructure and performance is not critical. Okay. Yeah. Utility computing refers to a business model. Okay, it refers to a business model. Business model. Okay, and it refers to the IT architecture. IT architecture. Okay. Usually computing is a good choice for less resource demanding, and CC, I mean cloud computing, is a good choice for high resource demanding. Okay, good choice for less resource demanding, high resource demanding. Okay, it's a good choice. Utility computing is a good choice for less resource demanding, and high cloud computing is a good choice for high resource demanding. Okay, so actually, through utility computing, small business with limited budget can easily use software like CRM. Okay, CRM. CRM stands for a customer relationship management. Ship management. Okay, without investing heavily on infrastructure to maintain their clientele base. Okay, so utility computing is the process of providing service through on demand pay per use billing method. The customer of client has access to a virtually unlimited supply of computing solution over a virtual private network or over the internet, which can be sourced and used whenever is required. Based on the concept of utility computing, grid computing, cloud computing, and managed IT services are based. Okay, so it is all about grid computing, utility computing, and cloud computing. I hope you must have got knowledge. Thank you very much.